Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Actors Lounge podcast with always me, Shane Nicholas, and my good friend right to the right of me,
Lamar Finesse.
That's right. Today we're going to be talking about a topic I'm not too familiar with, but I'm really excited to get started with.
X-Men
go ahead.
In the
Yeah.
MCU, we're going to be talking about that. First off, a disclaimer: no children allowed. If you're a child, get out of here. Leave. Get the fuck out. You are not welcome. Any sensitive grandparents too. So we have a special guest.
Yeah. This is.
I was just sitting here. I was like, "Y'all gonna introduce me or not?"
Rude as fuck.
We gotta introduce the cast, the podcast first. So we have a very special guest, a very good friend of mine, my love of my life,
Listen,
best
very
friend.
special. No, just say
Not
special.
very special, just like kind of sort of special, but enough that he's around a lot. He and I live together. He and I have a business together, and he's actually currently working with a fashion mogul in the industry, or I'm sorry, fashion model agent mogul in the industry, Paul Fisher, and this is Daryl Hood, owner and operator of LaFron Model Management.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And he's going to be giving us some insight into comics. Yay!
Alright, so all about X-Men in the MCU. As you all know, Fox doesn't have the rights to X-Men films anymore. So, Disney Marvel owns
Forgot
it.
about that.
So all those X-Men characters can possibly be seen with, Tony Stark and all them fuckers, whoever isn't dead, So, I actually have two different lists.
Now, is that why Quicksilver was someone different in the MCU rather than in the X-Men?
Yeah.
Because they had two Quicksilvers. They had,
One in Avenger, Ultron.
yeah, they had the kid from... Who was he? Oh, goodness, he was so good. Their names are going to escape me. It's going to bother the fuck out of me. I'm going to look it up later and figure it out. But, oh, damn it. Oh, so, the one Quicksilver from X-Men, he was in... I think every
Kick-Ass.
season. Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
was. They both were actually in Kick-Ass together and both played Quicksilver. Yeah.
That's crazy.
One was in I think all 8 seasons of
American Horror Story.
Thank you, American Horror Story. Oh, what is his name? Oh, his name's gonna.
Evan Peters.
Thank you, Evan Peters. Good call, Ed. Daryl, whoever you are. Next, his
I
name.
only know that because I think he's cute.
He is really, really cute. All right, let's look him up. That's gonna bug the shit out of me. I wanna
What
try
were you
and
saying
guess
about
it.
your 2 lists?
Oh, okay, yeah. Just let him do this real quick. What are you looking for?
Go over to this. Let's go ahead and find him. I'm trying to find my dude. What is his name?
Alright, anyway, yeah, I got 2 lists. Just a group of different
Aaron
characters
Taylor Johnson.
I think who would be good together. So, for my first list, I have 2 leaders, actually. Cyclops and Emma Frost. When they were in Astonishing X-Men, they ran shit. That was a good-ass team. I see Emma as more of the headmaster, the headmistress of the school, more so.
You mean like Storm's position?
She's on that list, don't worry. But I see her as more, like the principal, whatever the fuck. And maybe she doesn't go out on missions as much. And when she does go on missions, Cyclops is more of the field leader when they do go on missions and everything like that. He's the perfect. Well, I don't say the perfect, but he's a great strategist.
Mm-hmm.
Boy Scout.
He's there. Yeah, total Boy Scout Superman type.
100%. 100%.
He's hard on himself, but he gets the job done. He's a pretty good leader. So.
Yeah, him and Storm, excuse me, definitely do both the leadership in their own way, but it's definitely Cyclops is the leader and Storm is like the backup.
So that's for my astonishing X-Men cast of characters. Those would be the 2 leaders, and for the tech guy genius person, I would put Beast with him. He has pretty good history and chemistry with those 2 characters I just mentioned, so I thought he could be that.
I like Beast.
For teachers who would have a lesser role, unlike the characters I just mentioned, I put Banshee because he
Love Banshee.
he taught in Generation X alongside Emma Frost. They were leaders of that school in Massachusetts. For the Generation, yeah, it's cool. 90s comic for the Generation X cast, and he's an on again, off again X-Man, but I really want him at the school, more of that type of person, teaching and training younger mutants and students. So I think that would be cool. Put Kitty Pryde in there. I think a few years ago they started calling her Professor Kitty. I thought that was funny as fuck.
She's the one that can go through walls, right?
Yeah. She can walk through walls. And
They changed her like 3 times throughout the films. I think because they had her just popping through a door in the first movie.
Yeah, different actors for the original trilogy.
Ellen Page actually took up the mantle when they actually put her full time in the film. She did good.
Yeah, X-Men 3.
I would talk about film all
She
day.
was cameos until that third one, yeah.
Anytime we talk about anyone, I always bring up the film or TV part of it. But I don't know, just typical Netflix freak.
And for their for the strong person, because they always have to have somebody take the heavy lifting and stuff like that. I put M. She is a she actually works as a brute and a telepath, and her name is Monet St. Croix. She's from the Generation X people of mutants. Teenagers are mutants. So you got the history there. She was underneath Banshee and Emma Frost. They were her teachers.
You teaching my ass because I don't know nothing about her. I never heard of her.
Right, Monet. She's she's like where is she from? Monaco, maybe. Yeah. So she's beautiful.
Morocco, you mean?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe Morocco.
Sounds about right. There are some characters that are from Morocco.
And she's really her powers. Her powers are. I'm gonna explain her powers because a lot of people don't know her. Her powers are super strength. She can fly, and she has telepathy, so she can read minds.
That's a cool mix.
Yeah, that is cool mix.
That's cool.
And she's
you bust through a wall, and read your mind and shit.
She was in this 1996 movie.
Like fucking Kool-Aid Man.
She was in this 1996 movie Generation X. We gotta watch that one day because it was like this made-for-TV movie. It was supposed to be a pilot for a TV show on Fox or whatever back in the day, and they never
heard of this lady. She sounds like a fucking badass.
She is cool. She's she kind of reminds you of Emma Frost because she's like a rich girl, mean bitch.
Yeah.
Like, she thinks she's better than everybody because she kind of low-key is. Because she's, like, really strong and, like, anything you can think of, like, intellect, she's really smart and she's gorgeous, too. She is, like, kind of a bitch, though, but, like, she is, like, agility, everything is, like, really, she's, like, almost perfect, basically.
That's really crazy that she has all these traits and I've never heard of her.
Right.
Yeah.
She's she was introduced in the 90s. And,
okay.
Well, I would love to see her
like
in the film. That's why I picked her. Yeah.
Good fucking pick. Good find.
Yeah.
Especially with like what is this? The New Mutants that just came out not too long ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They would have put something like that in there.
So
yeah.
There's a history to that because this is the second time they've done this. This is just live action, from what I understand. Because they did the New Mutants years ago on TV. They had a cartoon TV show called The New Mutants, and it was kind of a spin-off of the successful '90s X-Men show. They had all the cats. Yeah, you remember that? They had the New Mutants.
You mean X-Men Evolution? Talking about
That is that what that?
They were in that. They were those characters from X-Men.
I may have that confused.
From like the early 2000s.
Yeah,
that's X-Men Evolution. Yeah, and actually those characters were a lot in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think so I got the name wrong, but that's pretty much like tit for tat, the same thing, because it has mostly the majority of the same character. I don't really like the TV show. Not gonna lie. I was trying to watch some of it. Daryl, I think you liked it more than I did. Acting was not there.
It was rated again. Monet St. Croix. M.
Acting
just
was
type M,
not there for me.
Marvel Comics, you'll find her.
I liked some
super hot, bro.
of the kids, but there were a lot of other actors in there that have actually a lot of tenure, that have had some decent creds under their belt that, for me, really felt short with these kinds of characters. Because when you think, like, comic book, and then we think comic book to the cartoon film, or cartoon, excuse me, TV shows, and movies, there's a lot of movies also were animated. There was a lot going on character-wise. Voice-wise, I mean, the actors were obviously really, really good, knew what they were doing, had a lot going on, really took the characters vocally right from the page, which I think everyone loved. I think everyone did that. But, like, going from comic book to animated to live action, for me, like, all those things, like, you gotta bring it. You really gotta be there. The budget was there, the special effects were there, the powers were there. The work was not.
Whenever I read X-Men, though, I do, whenever I read X-Men, I do hear from the animated series from the 90s, I hear the voices of Rogue, Jean, and Wolverine. Like, I hear those voices when I read any X-Men comics.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were, like, so perfect.
Yeah, they pulled it
those
right
three
from
in particular
page.
To me, those are perfect.
They pulled the voices right from the page.
Right.
And that's so difficult to do.
You looking up pics about M, what do you think?
She's basically like a badass Pocahontas.
Right.
I mean, that's what she looks like.
Right.
And based upon, I mean, I say this about everything, but she's like the Beyonce of
Kind of.
of the X-Men.
Right.
I want to figure it out so we can put some pictures of them up there rather than just like show our phone like here
Right.
she is.
One day we're gonna do that.
One day we're gonna have sophisticated equipment.
She anyway, she's my brute / telepath person for mine.
This is Monet, straight up badass. Like, straight up fucking badass. That is cool. That is cool.
Mm-hmm. And for my teleporter, every X-Men team like kind of has to have a teleporter to me. So I picked
Mover and a flyer.
the traditional Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Well, there is Hazizel from the movie an actual character?
I think he is, but he's not an X-Man. He's evil as fuck.
Well, yeah.
He's
he
her
was,
father.
Right. He was in.
Whose father?
Nightcrawler's father is a guy named Azazel. He's
that
actually
is his dad?
from a dimension. Evil. I think he's a demon or something. I don't know if he's a mutant. I think he's a straight up full demon or half demon or some shit. And him and Mystique got together, I guess. I know about it, but I haven't read that story.
That would make a lot of sense.
Right. He's evil as fuck.
Because
you think
red,
Mystique's
got
an evil
tail,
bitch, but like this guy is like.
He's got a sword and a knife, and he jumps around and just cuts people in half.
And he was badass in that.
I like him.
He was badass in that First Class movie. Like, he was actually doing what a villain would do with those powers. Right. He just grab a bitch and then drop you 50 stories out or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
That's a real thing. That's like some Mortal Kombat
That
shit.
is a serious.
They would totally do that if they were
fucking
evil as fucking had the power to
dude.
do it.
Yeah.
They really went there. I love First Class. That's the one.
Fucking nuts.
Fight me. But he'd be the teleporter because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
And for students, just a few students to get a spotlight on if they want to have, I don't know, like maybe they're having a fucking auditorium speech thing or whatever. I picked Siren. She's Banshee's daughter, who he's very protective over. I picked Pixie. She's a pink-haired mutant with wings. She can fly. She's got some spellcaster elements to her, so that's really cool. And she just looks interesting. Like shit, show us some X-Men flyers with fucking wings and shit. So I just put her down there. I think she's from New Mutants Volume 2 or 3, from like the early 2000s. I put Prodigy. He's I think he's a genius mutant. I can't remember his power set. I should have looked it up before I wrote this. But I read of him. He's also a new mutant from like Volume 2 or 3.
So kind of like Forge. You could just think of whatever.
Nah, he creates whatever. But I think Prodigy. I'll look it up later. But he's like,
who is the X-Men character? And now I know I keep mentioning movies, but I'm way out of my element as far as the comic book world is concerned. But who is the mutant from? The one with Angel, the first appearance of Angel with Ben Foster as Angel, and the mutant that they were pulling blood and DNA from to take away powers.
Oh, he might be Leech. I think he's
Okay.
originally a Morlock, and I think he normally has green skin.
But he was that mutant where if you got close to him or if he touched you, he would
nullify your powers or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah.
A weird fucking power.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of who he was or his relevance to the comic world. You know, how they will bring a character out of the comic and fucking change him. Yeah, they'll change him around for the film aspect.
I'm pretty sure that was Leech.
I remember.
And then another character.
I liked him.
Another character is Warpath, who I would add, who just for more diversity, he's Native American. His brother was Thunderbird for the second Genesis of the X-Men team. After the first team like kind of disbanded, and then they brought back the second team. His brother died on like I think the second or third mission because he was kind of dumb. But anyway, so Warpath kind of had a beef with Professor X, so maybe they could like
Light bulb.
yeah, I don't. And also, some other characters I would like to see for some brief scenes, or at least Carly as Beast's best friend. If you don't remember the Beauty and the Beast episode from the 90s animated show, Beast was helping a woman with a surgery to cure her blindness. And she actually kind of fell in love with him through that 22 episode span. And it was amazing. Her dad was Vegas, so it was like tension and stuff. And that was such a really good episode. And I would love to see that bitch back. She's not been in the comics, I don't think, at all.
Is she blind still?
No. The surgery was successful, and it was just really good. Like, bitch, we gotta watch it before you leave. Yeah. But for 22 minutes, it was everything. It was so emotional. And
was
really
she a mutant?
No, she was not a mutant. She was a human. Her dad didn't want her Beast to perform the surgery on her because he was a mutant. But like, what the fuck? She'll be able to see a better life.
Right,
so just fuck your daughter. How about your own fucking agenda?
Do you want her to walk around with a stick the rest of her fucking life?
Right, so I want Beast to have a girlfriend. Maybe you can mention her. Maybe she could be in a few scenes. That would be dope as fuck. So that would be cool. I want Toad as the janitor because for a few years ago he was a janitor just because he sucks at being a villain. So fuck him. And I want Karma. She was the original leader of the New Mutants. She is a is she Vietnamese? I can't remember. But she can basically possess people. She's a telepath. She can basically possess your body and make you do stuff or whatever. But her originally her body would just be sitting there like she could be smashed by a fucking sentinel. She was using so like everybody's power isn't fucking super 100 plus. Everybody's not Emma Frost where you can do 5 amazing fucking psychic telepathic powers. Like that's all Karma could do for a long time. I think they upped a lot of the younger mutants' powers as time went on, but originally she could just
what you could do, you could easily chalk that up to them getting more experience and unlocking different levels of their powers.
Exactly, secondary mutations and stuff like that. Because Emma Frost originally she just had her amazing fucking deadly ass telepathic powers.
Yeah.
And then I think in Grant Morrison's new X-Men run during the early 2000s, she was able. That's when she got her secondary mutation. If she wasn't powerful fucking enough, where she could change her skin into a diamond like substance.
Yeah.
So she could like really take hits. She can't do with telepathy while she's in that form, but she doesn't need to breathe. She doesn't need to eat when she's like that. So like, damn. And plus like
she can go into water and shit too.
Yeah, I think she can do all that. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me
like Colossus.
Of Professor X when he was talking about when he put those different locks on Jean Grey's.
Oh yeah.
One of those shitty movies. Yeah.
Yeah, and how like he did that so she would never be able to unlock them. So I think I don't think it was only just her. I think there was other mutants that have the abilities to tap into other parts of their DNA.
Yeah.
And unlock other powers that would help make them stronger.
Or different levels of their current power, like with who's a good example? I can't think of his name. I guess Havoc would be an okay idea, because at first he can't control his power, and then he can, and then he learned how to shoot stuff like from his arms and stuff. Mm-hmm. So rather than just using his whole body to shoot giant rings, he could shoot it from his arms, his body, so he was able to figure out that kind of thing.
And focus his energy or whatever.
Yeah. There's
a really great example of that would be when Apocalypse trained his horsemen. And he was like, you guys' thoughts of your powers are so limited. Like, I loved when he had that talk with Magneto, and he was like, you control metal. Like, do you know what a lot of the world is made up of? The minerals in the ground?
Like, you ain't read a shit yet? Like,
right. you never thought of that? You just up here trying to do little magic tricks with right.
You just throwing knives and walls and shit. Like, picking up some metal plates.
You can literally control the magnetics of the world. Okay, so...
Right. Don't some mountains have magnetic cores or something like that?
Yeah,
like shit like that. Yeah. Like just move a mountain.
Absolutely.
Right.
But that's my first list. Astonishing X-Men movie list based off Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men run from 2005. You know, Joss Whedon created Buffy, so shout out to him.
Yeah. He's the film director, right?
Yup.
Okay.
But mostly TV though. Yeah, so that was that list, which I'm very proud of. I would love to see something like that. But also, before we get to the second list, which I think is even better, in both these lists, there is no fucking Professor X. Like, he don't have to be dead, but maybe he'd be on an island somewhere, like, vacation and sit your ass down. I mean,
yeah, he kind of is sitting down permanently.
But unless we're going to do something interesting with him, I don't need to see his ass. Mystique, fuck that bitch. Every time the X-Men is doing something, Mystique and Magneto is not fucking there. Fuck those two. I'm tired of seeing them. I'm tired of Magneto getting more screen time and story time and character development more than Storm and Cyclops and shit. Fuck him. I'm tired of seeing that bitch. I'm tired of seeing you, Magneto. Fuck you. I can go another 10 years without seeing Mystique or Magneto in the next 3-4 X-Men movies. Like, for real. I don't give a fuck.
You know, one of the villains that we talked about in an earlier conversation that you and I had like months ago was Mr. Sinister, yes. I believe, the Doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Nathaniel Essex in the house. But yeah.
I just, like...
they have so many interesting villains. Yeah. He is one of them. He's scary as shit. And he has beef with Cyclops and Jean, so that's extra drama. Okay?
And then...
right there.
Another one we talked about was the Hellfire Club. Like,
That
get
was
up into
from
that shit.
First Class, right? Was that the Hellfire
Yeah,
Club?
yeah, that was- they were the
Okay,
villains in
okay,
that,
okay.
yeah.
That's I can't think of their name.
Oh my god, we're gonna talk about that later because I think if they had a television show on FX or something, that'd be sweet.
Anti-hero
that-
show.
that could
Fucking
just be
anti-hero
a
show.
whole series.
With them
Yeah.
alone, just to have the villains as the leads. Like, oh my god.
Bring Kevin Bacon back.
He would kill it.
He's a good actor. I like
But that was my first list. For my second list is I call it the Extreme X-Men movie list because it takes more characters from the Extreme X-Men from the early 2000s from that roster, and as headmistress and team leader is of course Storm, because I think she is the absolute best fucking leader for the X-Men. Like she's just a good person. She knows her shit. Okay. And Storm's just everything, you know? And sometimes maybe if it's some trouble at the school and there's some trouble outside, maybe her second in command could be Cannonball. Now, Cannonball is from the New Mutants. His power is that he can fly, and he usually does it very fast, but when he's flying, he can't be hurt when he's blasting. He's from the South. He says that all the time. But when he's flying, he can't be hurt. So like when he crashes into something, it doesn't break his neck. When you're shooting at him, if he's flying, it don't fucking hurt him. It's like a
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a force field around him.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Yeah, it's,
only when he's flying.
Only when he's flying.
See,
I
that's
think-
probably one that will develop his power later.
Yeah, I think he did.
that, I bet.
Later in the comics, he did get some upgrades, but in Volume 1, I don't think he got any upgrades. 'Cause
Yeah.
I read almost, I ain't gonna say almost, but I read about 60% of Volume 1, and he didn't have any new upgrades. So anyway, he's one of the few New Mutants.
What was his name again?
Cannonball. His name is
Cannonball.
Sam Guthrie. Is his
That's
name.
a
He's
cool
very
name.
he's much of a Cyclops superhero, Superman type too. So he's a really good guy. And when he's one of the few New Mutants to actually become part of the X-Men, like to graduate from junior status to actual.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so he actually did join the X-Men team
Colossus.
alongside Rogue and Storm and them for like in the 90s for a while. I don't think he really got that popular, obviously, because a lot of people don't fucking know. But I love him because he's part of New Mutants. And he's really cool.
That's a cool name.
I just
Cannonball's
know.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's intense.
So he's a pretty good. He has some great leadership qualities because he was co-lead in New Mutants on the field team with Mirage. So I know him from that. He's pretty cool. And the tech genius guy on this team will be Forge. We all know Forge. He's really cool.
I kind of know Forge, but if you could recap.
He has the ability to create any type of machine. Well, not any type, but like many different types of machines. Whatever he puts his mind to, he can usually get it done.
Doesn't he also have the ability to like talk to computers?
He might.
I think I remember seeing
Yeah.
that somewhere.
He might actually, because I've read some of his comics where he was in it in the 80s, and he might have had something like that. I might have missed it. So yeah, you might be right.
I think it was in a video game was where I saw that. Like when I first actually learned about Forge.
Okay.
I think it was one of those like that's when I learned that like whatever he thought of he could make, and then I think there was a part where they showed him like talking to computers or a computer.
He probably can. It's crazy.
That'd be cool.
He's a Native American Cheyenne, specifically, I think, and he had a romance with Storm in the 80s during Uncanny X-Men, and it was really good. I actually have the issues.
I remember that.
It was really good.
Those
So
two
he
make
could
babies.
yeah, he could date Storm in there. You know, it doesn't have to be a big deal or anything, but like, you know, that could be his boo, something like that. That's just an idea. Teachers again, I want Banshee and Professor Kitty. For the brutes, I want. Oh yeah, Colossus. I think he could join this team.
Be a good art teacher.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because he actually does love to paint and stuff.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, well, then,
He does love art, and I'm pretty sure painting is what he loves. I'm pretty sure painting is it.
Huh.
So it's
That was a shot in the fucking dark.
Yeah, you making an X-Men 2 reference, right?
Yeah.
He could be an art teacher because he does like to paint. You know, watching those Foxman movies. You wouldn't fucking know that.
Oh, no. Wasn't that Wolverine? Which movie was that?
It was X-Men 2. It was Iceman's parents.
Wolverine.
Oh, yeah, Wolverine. Oh, what class do you teach? Art.
Yes. It was so funny too. The mom stopped and she was like, I'm sorry, what do you teach again? What do you do? Art. Just so sarcastic. It was one of my favorite scenes. I like Pyro. Do you think Pyro would ever come back? Pyro should come back.
As a villain?
I just, in general.
I guess.
Because, I mean,
he's okay.
he started off as like a junior. Now, he can only manipulate fire. Obviously, he later probably develops it to something different. I don't know how, but like maybe he can encapsulate his body with fire or whatever. I don't know.
No, he can't do that Human Torch shit. But he,
Yeah, right.
bitch, bring a lighter.
Bring yourself a little bic.
Which
A
is
little
cool,
bic
but-
lighter.
For this psychic telepath, I was thinking maybe Rachel Summers or Psylocke. No,
I like Psylocke.
yeah, Psylocke.
What is her power? Because her power
Her
seems as
power
though
fucking
her power.
varies.
I was gonna say her power changes.
Her power changes.
It's really
Like,
annoying.
she's not a super talented telepath like Jean or Emma.
They make a
Definitely
reference
not
that she can like read people's power levels or some shit, which is
No, fuck that movie shit. But she originally I'm not sure what she could do, but like in the 90s she could create a psychic knife, and I think if if she hits you with it, I think it hurts
Energy
you
knife.
mentally, something like that. I don't know if it hurts
Energy
you
knife.
physically. It might do both, but she can do that. And
that I've seen her use energy weapons. Which is
Right.
interesting.
yeah, it's from her mind. So, yeah, but
That is cool.
she could do that. I'm sure she can read minds. That's basic telepath shit. So, and yeah, if we didn't use Psylocke, cause she's a Psylocke. She's from England, and she's really into the arts too. So her and classes, could maybe sometimes talk about, painting and art. Cause like I think she modeled for him one time when he painted her. So that's really cool. Stuff like that. Really cool interpersonal relationships.
What about Darwin? I liked Darwin. He was in First Class.
Mm-hmm.
His character actually read a little bit about. I did like his relationship with Havoc. They kind of had this.
Oh, brotherhood.
Yeah,
that was cool.
They
The
kind of
little
had
bromance.
this cheek to this, real intense bromance. They never really obviously focused on it at all. It was always just little hints or whatnot. But Darwin's power was cool. He can adapt. He can create an exoskeleton that can take damage. He can create gills. He can take and like if he's getting burned, he can change his skin to adapt to. So he does not
Yes.
get fucking burned.
All that incredible stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the first
I like
X-Men
him.
to die. in that
Yeah,
movie.
right.
Am I right in Simone face?
First
Like,
fucking
really?
one.
Like,
I was
yeah.
really disappointed that he died.
Yeah, that is so many interesting things you can do with that power. But
Yeah.
let's just fucking kill him. How about that? Yeah. So I'm like,
Just stick a little ball down his throat.
that was lame. Yeah, and also, if we didn't use Psylocke, maybe we could use Rachel Summers because I really love her, and she's from the Days of Future Past timeline when Cyclops and Jean actually did get married and they did have a daughter, and before all the Sentinels killed everything, she grew up there, and she time traveled back to the 616 Earth, which is like the regular timeline for Marvel everything.
Okay.
So
What's her power?
time traveled.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
hold on. Yeah, she time traveled to this Earth and she lives here with us. And Cyclops was like kind of weirded out by it, but when Jean came back from her resurrection, she like really didn't accept Rachel for a long time because she thought it was so fucking weird. Jean's all like, okay, well, I fucking went possessed and I went crazy and I died, and then I come back and now like my daughter from the alternate universe is here. So like she had a hard time accepting her, but she eventually did. But her powers are just like her mother's, Jean. She's a telepath. She telepathy, telekinesis, and she has the power of the Phoenix too. But she is more she places limits, so she doesn't get too overwhelmed with anything, and she doesn't have those types of problems that Jean had. So
That's cool.
she knows how to control it more. She has a really interesting history. Like, she was manipulated and she was killing other mutants and stuff when this.
So she
In
became
her
like a
original
mutant
timeline.
assassino.
Yeah, she kind of was.
Assassino,
Until she got her free will back. She had these hound tattoos. She was called a hound when she was killing other mutants.
Oh,
She was
okay.
forced to kill other mutants and stuff. But anyway, she has like these tattoos on her face and stuff, and sometimes she can get rid of them. And sometimes they let her get rid of them. Sometimes they bring them back, and sometimes she has to use her powers to conceal it. But she has a really interesting story. I think I should have put her on my astonishing list because her and Cyclops is on that list, and Emma and all that. But anyway, Rachel, she would be a really good pick, but I think that might be too much with a time traveling bitch and all that. So maybe just Psylocke. But for teleporters, I got Magic. She was in the New Mutants movie. She was in the original Mutants run. I think issue 15 or 16. She joined the team, and her stories are like crazy as fuck. She had her own miniseries with Storm. Fucked up shit. We gotta maybe do a whole segment about it. because yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, she's like she can have her mutant power is teleportation disc that can teleport people through time and space.
Ooh, that's interesting. Oh,
So-
I've seen her. She just kind of creates
Yeah.
like a little thing. You can
No,
fucking walk
that's
through.
Blink.
Okay.
She, I think her disc are like on the floor. She can just, I don't know. Sometimes teleport like time travel stuff is like really confusing to me. Like in the comic book,
It's always
world,
different.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. How can you like
Always
bend
different.
reality and shit?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what the
always
fuck?
fucking different.
But anyway, she can teleport. It can teleport you to a place, and I think every time she does it, even if for a second it teleports you to limbo, which is a realm that she was raised in, and she ruled it for a while. I don't know if she still does, but weird enough, the X Mansion, she teleported the X Mansion to limbo. It's like a kind of like a hell dimension, low key, but she teleported it there for to get rid of get all the mutants away from the Terrigen Mist when the Inhumans was doing all that shit a few years back, and Marvel was trying to make the Inhumans into X-Men, but that wasn't working, so they scrapped that idea. But anyway, she's a teleporter, and she was raised in limbo. Belasco was her ruler. He kind of kidnapped her. It was really fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he taught her to be a sorceress and stuff, so she has dark magic abilities too. And she's also the younger sister of Colossus, and he's on this team, so
God
I
damn.
want them to...
fucking history of these
yeah, right. That's his brother and sister, so I want them...
confused.
I know,
I
right?
know where I am.
I know.
It's not a bad thing. It's
yeah,
a lot. There's
she's-
a
right.
big lore with these characters, which I like. I like
Right.
the lore.
Since 63, I think. 63, 64?
Yeah, 60s,
But,
absolutely.
Yeah, so she's a
60s,
teleporter,
right.
teleporter sorceress, younger sister of Colossus. So that's why I want her on this team. She's a
Yeah.
teleporter with that, so I thought that was cool. And
Oh,
as far as students,
For those out there listening to me yawn like crazy, I just got out of the gym, so I have not been in the gym in a while, so I apologize. I'm not bored. I'm just fucking exhausted.
right, and the same
Not eating
students,
a lot today.
Siren, Pixie, Prodigy, and Warpath. That would be cool. Maybe Skin, who can his power is kind of
Now Warpath. His power, just a quick recap. His is like super strength, super endurance, high jump. He can't fly. but
basic
he-
shit. He can't fly.
Yeah.
He
Basic
usually
stuff
has
cool.
knives
Like
or something
basic
with
shit.
them.
Yeah.
Like
Like, I
weapons.
like his
In
power.
Mortal
'Cause,
Kombat.
they're like
Yeah.
basic, but they're fucking sweet. Like they're
Right.
infinite. Like or increased stamina, increased strength, increased.
He jumped out of the building.
flexibility.
He probably survived.
He'd be good, yeah.
Probably,
Yeah, he's like the male version of a Valkyrie or some shit. I don't know. Just fucking increase everything.
And then for other characters here, we could do Karma as a librarian again, Toad as a janitor again, and maybe Sunspot, who's also a member of New Mutants, and he can